Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we are making this adorable rattle and teething ring toy for baby. You can hear it, I don't know if you can hear it very well. ASMR. It's a cute little rattle, and we are making this with all these supplies I'll get into, and then I'll talk about this piece and we'll get into making it. It is so fabulous. I love it so much and I can't wait for my baby to play with this. So the supplies are all here. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing all the yarn today. This is a 100% cotton yarn. It is scrubby smoothie yarn, and it is just so lovely. I love it. It's so soft and it is cotton 100%, so I love that factor in it too, and it's great to make these kinds of toys for baby. Now I don't have the amount needed because it's just a small toy. You're not going to need a whole lot, but I am using in today's tutorial this color Royal, and also this color is Hot Coral, yeah, Coral. And in my other star that I have just displayed here, there's a yellow color, which I don't actually have the label for, and then this aqua color as well. So those are, I mean, the colors that I used, but they have so many colors of this scrubby smoothie. I will put a link to this on their website. You can get it straight from their website, or you can find it at your local craft stores. And see all the colors that they offer. This is such a wonderful yarn. And the other supplies you're going to need is an F-sized crochet hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. This crochet hook, I get questions about the crochet hooks I use all the time and where to get them because they are so fabulous. This is a hand-carved handle, and this is from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. Again, I'll link it in the description of this video in the materials section, also on YARNutopia.com. The Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. It has a nice curvature to it, so it fits in the palm of your hand, and it's ergonomic, so it's a big, more bulkier handle, and it can crochet for longer periods of time. I love it so much. There's right-handed hooks, there's left-handed hooks. You can choose which hook you want in the handle, so it's very amazing. I mean, just get your crochet hooks from there. Also, for this project, you are going to need rattle inserts. You don't need the rattle inserts, but you can get these on Etsy or on Amazon, and you can hear, I'm by my mic, I'm putting it by the mic. You can hear there's little rattles inside. And now there's our microphone. So you can hear it by the microphone. Okay, that's really loud. Anyways, you can insert, I put 2 of these inside one of these, but you can just put 1, or you don't have to have any of these. It's just optional to have the rattle, which gets the baby to have some stimulation. Also, the teething rings here, these are the teething rings that I'm using. I got these on Amazon, so you can get these online or at a craft store or something. I do recommend boiling these in hot water before using them, letting them dry completely, and then using them, just because buying things online I get really skeptical and weird about it. So just for baby's safety, just do that. And then you're going to need a scissors to cut your yarn and a yarn needle. And then obviously you can see that this is stuffed and plushy, so I used some polyfill to stuff it so that you can get it at your craft store as well. But I will have links to all of these supplies in the materials you'll need section in the description of this video if you're watching on YouTube, or in the materials section on the blog YARNutopia.com. And YARNutopia.com will have the free crochet pattern, so you can follow along. If you would like to follow along with the written portion of the pattern, you can do that on YARNutopia.com. That's linked in the description of this video as well. Also linked in the description of this video is Facebook, Instagram, all my Snapchat, all my Twitter, all my information. So follow me, please, on other social media sites, and hit the red subscribe button before you begin making this project, because all of our subscribers are greatly appreciated, and I can't believe our community is growing so fast and so big. So you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns there. Big thank you to my dad for filming this tutorial. And big thank you to you for watching every day. I love sharing these tutorials with you. So that's all the information I have. Let's just get started and make this cute little rattle toy. Alright, to start out, we are going to make a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, fold this down, and then pull this through and pull tight. There's your slip knot, and we can insert our hook and begin. So to start off, we're going to make the star first, and we are going to chain 2. So yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. Now if you wanted to start with the magic ring, you can make 9 single crochets in the magic ring if you know how to do that, but I just like to chain 2. It's just simple for me. I don't know, I just do that. So we're going to put 9 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. So the loop on the hook does not count as a chain, so count 1 and 2. Right here is the second chain right there. We're going to go into that chain, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. And that is a single crochet. Okay, so make 9 of those in that chain. So that was 1. Go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. There's 2. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, notice I was working in a circular form, and you can see there is the circle right there. We're going to slip stitch to this very first single crochet right here, and if you need to, count back 9 and then go into the first single crochet and slip stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through, just like that. Now we're going to chain 1, so yarn over, pull through, chain 1, and we're going to turn this around. So flip it around, just like this, okay? And now this next round, we are going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So we're going to go into this very first stitch right here, and I know it's going to look kind of weird because there's your chain 1 here. We're looking basically at the back of our work. And then this looks like a stitch right there, but it's not a stitch, okay? This is the stitch right here. So that's where we're going to go into. So we're going to go into this stitch, and if you look at the front, you can see I flipped this over. Here's our chain 1, here's our slip stitch, and here is our single crochet. So we're going to go into this single crochet, and we're going to make 2 stitches in each stitch, 2 single crochet stitches in each stitch. So here's 1 and 2 in that stitch. Hop to the next stitch right here. Here's, whoopsie, I lost my loop for a second there. There we go. Here's 2 in this one. Okay, hop to the next. 2 in this one. There we go. 2 in this one. And we're just putting 2 in each stitch, 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So at the end of round 2, you'll have 18 single crochets. And I'm actually almost there. I'll show you the very last stitch can kind of be hidden, so just make sure not to miss your very last stitch. Okay, so your last stitch is actually right here, and you can see here our slip stitch is in there. Okay, so this is our last stitch. So if you need to count back, you at this point, if you're at the same spot as me, you would have 16 stitches. So we have to put 2 in there as well, and then we'll have our 18 stitches around. So just make sure you have your 18 stitches at the end of round 2, and then slip stitch to the very first single crochet stitch right here. Okay, so not the chain 1, go into the single crochet there, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Alright, that was round 2. We're going to chain 1 and go on to round 3. So yarn over, pull through, turn the work around. Okay, and now we're going to go on to round 3. The first stitch that we're going to work into is right here. Okay, so you can see there's our slip stitch, there's our chain 1. So then the first stitch for this round will be right here. Okay, and we're going to put 2 single crochets into the first stitch right there. I know it's hard to see, and I can't get my finger or my hook in there. There we go. Right there. So put 2 single crochets in that stitch, 1 and 2, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, just 1. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next. Okay, so at the end of round 3, you'll have 27 single crochets. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up when I'm finishing this round. We'll go on to round 4 next. Alright, on your last repeat, you can see here my 2 single crochets will be in this stitch. Now do not forget that there's this last stitch right here, which you will probably not notice or see because our slip stitch is right there. So we have to kind of separate there. Oopsie. Don't lose your loops. And we're going to go into our last stitch right there and make sure that we have our 27 stitches around. Okay? And then we're going to slip stitch to the very first single crochet. So if you need to count back 27 stitches, go into the very first single crochet right here, yarn over, pull through and through to slip stitch. So this is what it looks like so far. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work around, flip it over, and now round 4 we are going to increase again. So let's put 2 single crochets in this first stitch. So you can see our chain 1 there. Okay, if you flip this forward, you can see the chain 1, the slip stitch is kind of small right there. This is our first stitch of this round. So we're going to go into that first stitch right there. Okay, and then we're going to make 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in each of these next 2 stitches. So 1 in this stitch here, okay, and 1 in this next stitch right there. And then just repeat that sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in this next stitch right there, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. I'm trying to get my yarn out of the way so you can see the stitches right there. So just 1. So I put 2 in this one right here, so 1 in the next 2 stitches. Okay, and just repeat. So 2 in the next, 1 and 2, just like that, and then 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. And at the end of round 4, let's see, you'll have 36 stitches at the end of round 4. So I'll come back and we'll go on to round 5 next. Again, don't forget your last stitch like the previous rounds I was showing you, and you should have your 36 stitches. So now going on to the next round, let's slip stitch to the very first single crochet stitch right here. Go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through and through, chain 1, and turn your work around. Okay, so for round 5, we are going to increase again. So you can see the first stitch right here. Okay, so we're going into that stitch, and we're going to put 2 single crochets in that first stitch, 1 and 2. And then for round 5, we're actually going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1 in this one, 1 in this one, and 1 in this one. And that is our sequence all the way around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. And then just repeat that all the way around. So at the end of round 5, you will have 45 single crochets, and that's the end of our increases. So once I finish round 5, I'll come back and we'll be able to start making the star points. Alright, so I have 45 stitches now. We are going to slip stitch to our very first single crochet right here, go in, yarn over, pull through, and through. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn the work around, and now we're going on to the star points. So in the crochet pattern, the star points start with row 1 and go through 9 rows here. So we're going to start row 1 of the first point, and what we're going to do is single crochet into 9 stitches across here. So go into this very first stitch here. Okay, single crochet in there. We're not increasing anymore, so just put 1 single crochet in there. So 1, hop to the next, here's 2, next stitch 3, next stitch is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now what we're going to do, we're going to leave the rest of these unworked right now. We'll come back to those later. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work around, and that was row 1. Going on to row 2, we are just going to single crochet in these 9 stitches. So hop in this very first one right there. There's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now what we're going to do is chain 1 and turn the work around. Go on to row 3 next. We are going to single crochet the first 2 stitches together to make them 1. So we're going to go into this very first stitch right here. Okay, oopsie. I'm going to go into the stitch. There we go. So into the first stitch. Then we're going to yarn over and pull it through. Then go directly into that next stitch right there. And yarn over and pull that through. And then yarn over and pull through all 3 of these loops. And that is a single crochet 2 together stitch, or a single crochet decrease. We just made those 2 stitches into 1. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You should have 2 stitches left. We're going to single crochet those 2 stitches into 1. So go into this next stitch here, yarn over, pull through, go into the last stitch, yarn over, pull that through. So now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. So you should actually have 7 stitches on this row. So now going on to row 4, we're going to chain up 1 and turn the work around. And we're just going to single crochet across. So no decreasing here, just single crochet in this first stitch. Here's the next stitch, single crochet across. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we can chain 1 and turn our work again. We are going to decrease again here. So going on to row 5, we are going to single crochet these first 2 stitches together. So go into this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull that through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops. Okay, single crochet 2 together there. Now we're going to just put a regular single crochet in each of those next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And you should have 2 stitches left, single crochet those 2 together. So go into this first stitch here, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull that through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So you can start to see the decrease and the less stitches you're having. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work around, and we're just going to single crochet across for row 6. So single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now chain 1, turn the work around, and basically for this next round or next row we're going to repeat row 5 there. So single crochet 2 together, and for this row we just have to single crochet into the next stitch, just a regular single crochet, until you have the 2 stitches left right here. Single crochet those last 2 stitches together. So actually for this row, row 7, you should have 3 stitches across. Okay, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn the work around. Row 8 says to just single crochet across for each of these 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Super simple. Now chain 1 and turn your work around, and now the last row says to single crochet all 3 of these together. So go into this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and go into the last stitch and yarn over and pull through. So now you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. And there's your point. How awesome. So now chain 1 and do not turn your work. Okay, do not turn. What we're going to do is slip stitch down this side of your point to get back down to round 5 of our circle here. So I'll show you exactly where I'm going to go. I'm going to start by pulling this loop just a little bit, okay? Going into the base of the stitches here. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Do not pull that tight, okay? Then going to the next base of the stitch here. Again, make these really loose, okay? Really, really loose. Yarn over, pull through, and through, okay? Go to the next base down here, yarn over, pull through, and through, okay? Way over here, yarn over, pull through, and through, and I'm going to go right into this stitch right here. Yarn over, pull through, and through. Now I'm going to go into the base of this stitch right here, where it is on round 5, right in here, and slip stitch my last slip stitch. And now we're back to round 5 of our circle. So now what we're going to do is repeat rows 1 through 9 for the next 9 stitches here for row 1. Okay, so repeat this 4 more times to make all your points. Okay, so we're going to go into the very next stitch right here and single crochet 9. Oopsie, my hook. There we go. So 9 stitches, just single crochet, just like that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's considered row 1 of the point. Okay, so now we're going to do repeat rows 1 through 9 of the point, slip stitch down the side, and then just continue doing rows 1 through 9 for the next point until you have no stitches left, until you have your 5 points. Okay, so if you need to rewind this and see exactly what we did for rows 1 through 9 of the star point, but I'm just going to continue repeating that, so you can just rewind and see exactly what I did. Do that until you have no stitches left on that round 5 of the circle, and you have your 5 points. And once I have my 5 points, I will come back and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, when you slip stitch down your last point there, we slip stitch down to the beginning, we're back to the beginning here. For your first star, you can see in the pattern we have to make 2 stars. So we're going to chain 1, and you can cut your yarn short for the first one, okay? And for your second one, do not fasten off. So this is my second one. I'm going to bring in my first one here. So I cut this yarn short right here, and this is my first star, okay? So what I need you to do now, once you finish your first star, is rewind this and make a second star exactly the same way. Okay, and so that's where I have here. That's kind of what I was demonstrating the whole time, my second star. So for your first star, fasten off, just cut your yarn. You can chain 1, cut your yarn, and pull it all the way through the chain 1 there, and that fastens it off. Okay, you can pull it tight right there. And then what we're actually going to do is line these up with this strand in the middle, in the inside, okay? So you can see this strand on the inside. Okay, we're going to line these up so that they are facing each other, like this, and line up your points, okay? Just like this, all the way around, okay? And the side that you did not fasten off is what we're going to use to connect everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is put all of our loose ends inside. Okay, and then we're going to, I'm actually going to turn this around so you can see this. We're going to go through both layers and we're going to single crochet around it. Okay, so where we're at right now, we're going to go into this layer here. So you can see my yarn is attached to this one in the back. I'm coming to this side here on this one that's fastened off, and we're just going to find a spot where our hook fits. Keep the loop on your hook. Find a spot on the edge where your hook fits, about right here. Okay, go through both layers. Sorry, I'm pulling this closer to my face and it's getting blurry. My bad. Okay, so I just want to be able to see where I'm going here. We're going through both layers. Okay, pulling tight. And then yarn over, pull through everything. Not everything, but through the both layers. So you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to single crochet around everything. So yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Then go into a next spot, line these up right here, go through and through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we're just going to attach these. Now we're going to work up this side here. Okay, so wherever your hook fits, just insert it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we're literally just doing that all the way around. Now I'm going to go a little bit fast in this part here because I want to get to the top point, because at every point, star point here, right at the tip here, we are going to put 3 single crochets in that spot. So just make sure you're going through both layers, attaching the 2, just like that, so they're attached, okay? And we're just going to go around this whole thing except for the last side, because we want to still stuff it and insert a rattle in the inside, Okay, so we're just gonna go to the around this whole thing, and see I'm at the tippy top here. We're just gonna put 3 single crochets in the same spot right here. 1, 2, and 3. That makes it a better point, and then you can come down this side of the 2 layers. Okay, so do that for every point, every side, except the very last side. So right over here, when we come back all the way around, I'm gonna leave this little section open because we'll stuff it and add the rattle in there. And I'll come back and I'll show you that part next. All right, so I am to the point where I am ready to stuff this, so it's not completely closed. I just have this one side open, okay? But I single crocheted around this whole thing, and now we want to stuff this piece. So I'm actually going to pull my yarn through here and remove it. And I have stuffing right here, so what we're going to do is just grab a little bit at a time and just use your fingers, or if you have a stick or a crochet hook or something, and just shove it into each of the points. Okay? Just make sure it gets to each tip of the points. Just like that. And don't stuff it too much because you don't want to see the polyfill through your stitches, but stuff it enough that it's squishy and plush and cute. Okay, so stuff it, and also don't stuff it too much that you can't insert the rattle either. So once you get all your stuffing in there, then we can close up the rest. Actually, add the rattle first and then sew up the rest, or close it up. But I'm doing this a little quick for the video tutorial, but you can obviously take your time and stuff it to your liking. Okay, I'm almost done. Alright, so once you're finishing, we're going to stuff this in the center, and then let me grab the rattle here. So I got these rattles on Amazon. They just came in this bag like this. And I'm going to actually use 2. So I think there was a dozen in this bag here. You can get these on Amazon or Etsy, and they're cute little, you can hear them. So we're just going to put these inside the polyfill and shove them into our little star. And they'll be secure in there, so they're not going to get loose or anything, so baby won't be able to put them in their mouth or anything. So they're secure. And once you are fully secure on that, you can put your hook back in your loop there. And oh, you know what? I need to stuff this just a little more. Okay. And then we can close this last side up. Get my hook here. There we go. So I'm just going to single crochet down the rest of this side. And then, and you can just continue watching because I'm almost finished here. And then once you get like just a little bit closed here, we're going to add some more polyfill because our last, you can see it's kind of flat up in there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more polyfill into this last little point. Okay, and we can finish. And those rattles, yeah, I got those, I believe I got these ones actually maybe on Etsy, but you can get them on Amazon, and I'll leave links so you can find these online somewhere. And I'm sure if you have a local craft store or something too, they have little rattle inserts as well. But I just like to buy online. Alright, so once you're finished, go to the first single crochet right there. Okay, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. And we can fasten this off, so chain 1, grab your scissors, there they are, cut your yarn, pull it all the way through, pull it tight, grab your yarn needle, yarn your needle with this little strand, and then just sew it into the inside of your star. Oopsie. Nope, that's not going to work. Go into here. There we go. Pull tight. Okay, cut any extra. Stretch it out, make it look like a star. Alright, now you can just have this as a star rattle, but I want to add a strap and the teething ring as well. So we're going to set this one aside and grab this blue yarn here. This is Royal, but you can use any color for the strap, okay? And what we're going to do is start off with a slip knot, just like I showed you earlier in this tutorial, and actually start off with a longer strand of yarn. So I'm going to start off with like 5 or 6 inches. Okay, put that over the long end, then fold this down and pull your long end through. We're going to use that long strand right here for sewing. Okay, and then what we're going to do is chain 6. So yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook and each chain across. And what I like to do is just turn this towards me and work in these back ridges of the chain. Okay, so go into the second chain right here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. You know how to do single crochets. We basically did that in the whole project already. So yeah, it was all single crochets. So just single crochet into each chain. So you'll actually have 5 single crochets across this row. Okay. And my last one is a little difficult. There we go, single crochet. Then chain 1 and turn your work around, and we're just going to, for row 2 through 20, just single crochet in each stitch across for 5 stitches across and 20 rows, or however long you want the strap to be. It doesn't have to be 20 rows, it can be more or less. That's creator's choice. You can choose how many you want. But I'm going to do 20 rows of this. Just chain 1, turn your work around, and then continue single crocheting across. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet across. It's super simple strap. So I'm going to do that, and then once I finish row 20, I'll come back, we'll fasten this off, and we will be able to finish off making this teething rattle. Alright, when you finish row 20, this is what your piece should look like. If you want it to be longer or shorter, you can do that. But I'm going to fasten this off, so chain 1. And we're going to cut our yarn long for sewing. Okay, so we started with a long strand and we're ending with a long strand. We're going to use both of those for sewing. Pull it through that chain 1 that you just created and pull tight, just like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab our star and choose which way it should hang from your teething ring. Grab your teething ring. These teething rings I purchased from Amazon. You can get them on Amazon. I will link it in the description of this video for you to get. They are wooden teething rings, and I prefer to boil them in water just before I'll give it to a baby because you don't know what's on them when you buy online especially. So just boil these in water and it should be good to sew onto here. So what you want to do is sew part of the strap. Let's do this side here. We're going to sew part of this strap to the star and then part of the strap to the ring. Now you can see on the star, if you show the whole star here, you can see this side looks like the front of the star. When I flip this over, you can see that this looks like the back side because you can't see those stitches. So just make sure you choose which side you want to be the front and which side you want to be the back. This side to me personally looks better just with the fact that you can see the stitches around the edge. So I'm going to use this side as my front and I'll probably end up making it up here. Okay, so we are going to sew this to the back side. So I'm going to make my strap attached to the back right here. Okay, so I'm going to flip this around to the back and right at the top. Okay, and we're just going to go into the star and then out the strap. Okay, into the star, out the strap. And just kind of whip stitch this into the star, out the strap, all the way across. Okay, then what I'm going to do is pull this tight, and then I also want to sew this so that it's not coming off of here. So I'm going to go in to here and in here and then back out and kind of just do like an in and out kind of thing. But don't go through the whole star, just go through, you don't want to go through this side. You don't want to see the blue on that side. Okay, so just do that. Just like that. And that seems really secure in the back there. Looks good to me. Awesome. So now we're going to fasten this off. So go underneath a few of the stitches here. Okay, keep your finger in this loop and then come back, oops, come back through the loop. Remove your finger, pull that strand tight, and that creates a knot. And then you can do that once or twice, and then we're just going to sew this end in, going back and forth behind the stitches just to secure it, and then cut the extra. Okay, so it's attached to the back of the star and it looks good right there. Now this part here we are going to attach to our teething ring. So we want it to go to the back side. So I'm going to lay it over the top of the teething ring and then fold it back just like that. And then we're just going to sew this in the back here. Okay. And I'm going to grab my yarn needle. Yarn my needle with that long strand. Okay, make sure this is tight around the ring. And then we're just going to go in each stitch. And for this one, I'm just going to go back and forth. You can do whip or you can just go back and forth. It's up to you. Just sew that closed so that's not going to fall off the ring, or the ring won't fall off. And then once you have that secure, you can go under, whoopsie, I just went back through the same stitches. Make sure it's secure, there we go. And then you can go back through if you need to, or go underneath a few of the stitches here and tie your knot. Okay, so I'm going to go through here. Keep your finger in the loop, come back through the loop, and pull. Okay, and for this side, I am actually going to do it a couple times. Go through a few stitches, keep your finger in the loop, come back through the loop, and pull. Okay, and then you can just sew this end in underneath some of these stitches here to hide it. And there you have it. This star baby rattle is complete once I cut this yarn. And there it is. Awesome. It's so cute and lovely. How adorable is that? Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this adorable teething rattle. You can hear it? It looks so fabulous, and you can make it in all different colors, all different styles. Look at how lovely that is. I made this one in yellow too. So another rattle. And the teething ring, which is really nice too. And you can strap this to the baby's car seat or in its little play pens or something, just so that they can play. I would advise always supervise when baby is playing with toys. So thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this. A big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing this scrubby smoothie yarn today. This is so lovely, and I love that it's cotton and just awesome to use in projects like this, especially for baby. And a big thank you to my dad back there for filming the whole tutorial, editing it, doing all the photography, and just being with us here every day. And big thank you to you for watching every day. Hit that subscribe button, everyone. Until next time, happy hooking!